right, you feather merchants. This story is it's a Marine Corps story, and it's when I was in the Philippines at Subic Bay, Olongapo, and this was around 1962. And even though I was stationed on Okinawa, we would move around a lot, and we were getting ready for Vietnam back then. And so we did a lot of maneuvers in the jungles of the Philippines. Anyway, this is on the base, and I was in the mess hall eating lunch, and I remember looking up and seeing Marine Guards marching prisoners into the Chow Hall that they had that were in the brig. And anyway, what they would do, the prisoners had all they shaved their heads. All their heads were shaved, and when they weren't allowed to speak or eyeball anybody, when they came into the Chow Hall, they were marching in a single file, asshole to belly button. I mean, right up next to each other, and they were all in step, marching in there, and their eyes are straight ahead, and they, as they approached the Chow Hall, they all got a metal tray, and now they're going through the Chow Hall sideways next to each other, and they were not allowed to move their heads, look around. They looked straight ahead, and the guys on the food line serving them, if they put their ice cream in their mashed potatoes, which probably happened quite a bit, they couldn't say anything. They had to just endure it, and that's the way it was. But anyway, I watched them as they're going through the line, and then they all stand at in front of this table, long table, and then they tell them to sit down, and then they all sit down together, and they tell them to eat, and they are not allowed to speak to anybody, to each other. All they're allowed to do is to eat at attention. So I'm kind of watching this, and I saw this Marine Guard walk around the table, and he came up behind this Marine, and I have no idea what this guy did, but evidently he broke a rule, and he either eyeballed somebody or talked to somebody. That Marine Guard had a club, nightstick, and he hit that guy on top of the head. I mean, he hit him on top of the head hard, to where the Marine fell face down into his food and didn't move. And the rest of the prisoners at the table, they never looked at him, never missed a beat. They just ate and continued eating at attention. And we used to have, like, I guess it was an officer of the day that was assigned to these chow halls, where there'd be an officer sitting in a far corner of the chow hall. And I saw this officer. He looked up briefly when it happened, because you could hear the noise of the guy being hit on top of the head, and it was dead silence for about 2 seconds in the chow hall, and then everything went back to normal. And I looked to see what the officer's reaction was, and he looked up and looked back down at his food, and he never got involved in that. And I thought, oh boy. I walked out. I got done eating, and I left. And when I left, that guy was still face down in his tray. So I have no idea what happened to him. But you don't hit somebody on top of the head without getting some kind of brain damage, I'll tell you that. Well, anyway, I have another mess hall story that's kind of funny. I was on Okinawa, and I'm at the mess hall, and we ate in these long tables, and had metal trays that we would eat out of, and it was the food was nothing to write home about, I'll tell you that. So you're not in a real good mood to start with. But anyway, there was a guy. He sat down in the table right across from me, and the windows in the chow hall, they must have been fairly high because there were screens on the windows, and the reason that was brought to my attention is because just as this guy sat down to eat, I looked up and the screen came loose from the window, and it was a high screen. It wasn't like a small screen. It was a high screen, and I saw it starting to fall. And by the time it got close to him, it had built up a lot of momentum, so it hit him hard on top of the head, and the screen, when it hit him, I mean, it's like, oh, this guy got pissed off just like that. And it was like the same incident in the chow hall in Subic Bay. The whole chow hall went silent for about two or 3 seconds. And this guy, when that screen hit him, he threw the screen off of him and picked his tray up and threw it up against the wall where the rest of the food had just slid down the wall. And it was the same kind of incident where the lieutenant, the officer of the day, he's sitting there observing this, and he saw the whole thing, but he rather than get involved, he chose just to put his head down and eat and pretend like it never happened. Anyway, oh, it was unbelievable. And, you know, I got this cat. He's making a lot of noise over here. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's making a lot of noise. He wants to go back outside because he got in a fight out there, so we don't want to let him back outside. Anyway, and I'll tell you another 2 real quick stories that came to mind when I was at the chow hall on Okinawa. So a lot of times we'd have to stand in a long line to even get in the chow hall. So we're standing in this long line, and I saw this guy cut in front of another Marine right there at the chow hall, and the Marine that he cut in front of stabbed him in the face with a fork. I mean, he stabbed him right there, and no one, it didn't mean anything to anybody. It was like nothing ever happened. And then there was one other incident where I was standing in line, and I saw this tall Marine. I didn't know his name, but I knew who he was because I used to see him in the dojo, karate dojo in Kin Village, working out, and he was a tough dude. And somebody made the mistake of cutting in front of him. And when they cut in front of him in that line, that guy opened up on him, and within about a few seconds, he had knocked him out, and then he was laying there, the Marine was laying there, unconscious, and the tall guy just stepped in line like nothing ever happened. Anyway, that's a quick chow hall story I thought I'd share with you guys. And anyway, you guys have a good day, and I'll think of another story to tell you. All right.